So we're here in a garage. We're at Naperville North High School, and this pretty little pink number behind us is going to be going real fast real soon. And we're going to talk to Kira. We're going to talk to Nick in a little while. But first, I want to get the lowdown on the club you guys got going on here, the automotive club, and we're going to get to exactly what this car is in just a second and why we're talking. But you guys got something pretty unique going on here at Naperville North. Tell us about your club.
Absolutely. Well, we have an after-school program, so all of our students are involved in our automotive program, Autos 1, 2, or 3, and a lot of the kids come in after school, and we've been building a race car for about the last 6 months here in our auto shop.
That is awesome. So how many kids do you have? How many hours a week are they working on this thing? Give us the lowdown.
Well, we've got probably about 15 or 20 kids involved total in the building of the race car, and I've got about half a dozen or so that are just a core group, and we're in here 5, 6, 7 days a week. So the hours are countless. We're here till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and sometimes 8 or 10 hours a day on a weekend. So they're dedicated to it. I'm really proud of these kids, and they put forth quite an effort.
We'll talk to Kira about what the goals are, but what in general, what are you hoping to do with this truck?
Well, we're getting ready to head to Beeville, Texas on Wednesday, and they have 2 events a year down in Beeville. It's called the Texas Mile. It's a land speed race. So we're going to go down to an airport there. We have 1 mile to get up to as fast as we can go, and then a half a mile to shut down. But don't worry, we're not putting a student behind the wheel. We do have a driver, and you see that the truck is pink. So the idea here is to promote diversity in career technology classes.
You do have quite a few females in the club, right?
We do. We have so many young ladies involved that actually we have a separate segment where they sort of form their own organization, and they wanted to promote themselves, and we have a female driver for the truck.
Your daughter?
My daughter, yeah, she is. This is going to be her rookie race. This is going to be her first major land speed race, and she is actually in career technology. She's 20 years old at UTI, majoring in industrial diesel.
How does Dad feel about daughter getting behind a land speed attempt in this truck here built by students?
Well, it's one thing to build it for yourself, and when you build it for your kids, I've been probably put more attention to detail, and I've been way harder on everybody than if it were just me. But she's confident. She works on it, and she double checks that she found a few things that I didn't do right. So yeah. She's checked me up on it. So.
Does she come in here and double check, make sure all the bolts are tightened and everything?
Absolutely, and she's been a good mentor to some of our young ladies. So with her being in the trades and the career tech, absolutely. So she's in here probably harder on anybody than anybody else. So
well, let's talk about this truck. Come here, Nick. You are a junior. Come over here on this side for me. So you're a junior in this club. Okay, so Coach Greg here brought in the truck. It was all beat up, and you got a whole bunch of old parts. So tell us exactly what you guys did to this truck. What is built by students, and what came as is?
Basically, what was built on the truck is basically from the engine to the transmission. All of the drivetrain was built by the students itself. The only thing that this truck kind of came in on its own was basically just the frame. Everything else on the truck, the paint job, the drivetrain, the suspension, everything was done by students.
What are the things you had to do to make sure it goes as fast as you can get it?
So to make this thing go as fast as possible, we custom built the engine. So we pulled it out of an old Corvette back from like the 80s, and we basically tore the whole engine apart. We put in custom pistons, connecting rods, and crankshafts and such to make it just more powerful. And we also added a nitrous system to it to hopefully give us that extra boost just to push us to get to that 170 mark.
When you guys get it started, can I come drive it?
That's not up to me.
We'll talk a little bit later. Kira, why don't you step on over here? She's going to take your spot there, Nick. And Kira, you've been part of this club for a while. You're a senior, right? But come a little closer here for me. I want to make sure everyone can see you. How long have you been with the club, and what have been your responsibilities with your team?
So I've been with the club 2 years now, and I work for the social media portion of the club. So I handle the Instagram, emails.
What's your Instagram account?
The Instagram is nnhs_autos.
nnhs_autos. Follow it.
And as soon as we get this up and working, and we're going to be posting so much, there's going to be so much footage from the race on there. And it's been amazing to work with all the sponsors and the people who are supporting us through the school and out of the school. We get so much support through the through the news, and it's amazing how much people are looking forward to this.
Talk about what you want this thing to do once you actually get down to Texas. What are you hoping to accomplish, and what's going to come home to Naperville, hopefully?
So we're working on getting a land speed record for the modified mini truck class that we're going into. And this is different than a drag race because we're just going down like straight on, just numbers. No winner, you just set a record.
You don't have anyone in the track next to you. You got a 1 mile runway, and you hope to get a big number on that speedometer.
Like finish line and keep going.
That is awesome. So what speed do you think you'll be able to get this thing up to once all is said and done? What's the goal?
So highest, I think 170. Again, it's up to Alina how much she wants to push it. Because again, that's a speed where it's like truck will be shaken. It's up to her whether or not she feels safe going. But I think we're gonna hit 160, 170, and we'll see from there.
It's awesome to see the kids come in and take such pride in the work. A lot of people, I hear a lot of times that, students just, they're not interested in cars, and we're sort of losing this hobby, and that's not really the case. We have about 250 students involved in our automotive program here, and that's just amazing. And I think the biggest thing is just encourage kids. I see a lot of people my age or older sort of discouraging the kids because the type of cars they like or the things that they can afford to do just aren't in line with what like my idea was in high school of a hot rod or a fast car. So encourage those kids, get them involved, get them a wrench, and it's amazing what they can do. And we built this whole thing really out of just borrowed parts and junkyard stuff. So the kids go to the junkyard and, I bought the transmission for $40 off of Craigslist. And like Nick said, we pulled the engine out of some old Corvette, and the rear axle came out of a Mercury Mountaineer. And we had one student who did all the fabrication and welded it. So dream it up, be patient. That's the biggest thing. And you can do anything you want to do. Lesson
learned right there, right? You don't need to spend a ton of money to make something cool as long as you put in the elbow grease, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it does take time. And a lot of students get discouraged, but, once it goes down the track, they're very proud, and it's something that they did. It's not something we bought, we built it.
Congratulations to you for even getting this far. Congratulations to you guys for doing all the work that you're doing, both on the engine, on the marketing side. You guys seem to got it covered. You got some pretty smart kids here, man.
Yeah, I've got some amazing kids. I'm really proud of all of them.
Congratulations. Let us know how fast you get this thing up next week, all right?
Sounds great. Thank you. We'll let you know.